Hello again, guys. We're back, car's back, and the question coming up is, what next? We'll get onto that, so stay tuned. But for now, welcome to 4K Garage. My name's Sam, so where do I begin? As you saw, hopefully you saw the last video, the car's back from its wrap, looking absolutely fantastic. Spent a few days kind of driving it around, really getting back into it. Just really glad to have it all back in one piece. Had a little meet for people to come out and see it. Showed some friends, went up to London, went to another little car meet. Just, spending a few days enjoying it, getting out in it again, meeting people, and just having a good one overall. So let's have a look around, shall we? And then we'll move on to what the next plans are. So where do we even begin? I mean, the car's back, it's looking absolutely fantastic. And just to give you a bit of a close-up look of the wrap from Monster Wraps, got it back on Wednesday. And this colour just is absolutely awesome, especially as it comes out in the light, as you can see. Really comes up bright. Got the carbon, the centre of the carbon bonnet still kept in carbon. I thought it was a nice touch to show off the fact it's carbon bonnet. It's as clean as you guys have probably ever seen it as well. Got all the door jambs done. Rear wheel's looking absolutely awesome. And even the boot shut has been done. Just really, there aren't many places you're going to see the original colour, apart from perhaps the engine bay. Of course, we've got our custom diffuser down there. Got some good comments on that, just because everyone's seen the work I put into it. Just, well, good comments about the car all around, really. It's had a really good reaction, and I'm just really pleased. There's been comments here and there saying, wide arches aren't my thing, or airbags aren't my thing, or the having rivets or bolts in my case on show isn't my thing. But they really appreciate how the car came out, given the effort and the work I put into it, and that's just, it's really cool to hear people can, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, each to their own, as they say, but it's really cool to hear that people can appreciate the work and effort that's gone into it. In a few days I drove it, there was, like I said, I met up with people. There's loads of photos taken of the car. Even had a little photo shoot up in London. That was very exciting. We'll see how that pans out. And the car felt amazing to drive. There is a slight problem when it comes to handling on the front. It's not so much the handling, just where I've had to run a bit extra camber. There's a bit of interaction between the drop link from the anti-roll bar and the chassis leg. So I'm going to have to sort that out, which will be probably the next episode. But the brakes feel amazing. They're so sharp and a really good stopping power, even from cold. If everyone asks me how's it drive in general, and the only thing I would say is it's a tiny, tiny bit heavier steering on the front end due to the wider wheel, more rubber. But really, these cars have quite light steering from the factory, so it's not a bad thing at all. Gets plenty of looks. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So let's get into kind of what the next plans are, shall we? So there's plenty of plans coming up. And for one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to start on a small job, which was to a little fuse box for the accessories, my lights, my bumper lights, the air suspension setup and so on. This has just helped to tidy up all of the connections I've got hanging off the battery. All looks a bit messy in there, and I just thought this can just hide away, tidy it all up. Everything is an inline fuse. It's safe. Why not? It wasn't very expensive, so good little project. And so for anyone that's wondering, that's seen this and thinking that's a pretty good idea, this is just a little generic fuse box. Got it off eBay. It doesn't come with any fuses, but pretty simple. A positive feed here, and you got your various fuses. Got little lights that tell you whether they're live, and then you can put your accessories coming off them. And then you got a post for the ground that runs back to your battery, and just a few grounding points. Nice and easy. Comes with some labels. Snaps together, simple. You can mount it onto the car. So that's what I'm going to do now. So let's get the front arch off and the battery out. We'll plan out where it's going to go. And the reason for getting that done, here's the engine bay, still messy as you can see, but in particular is all of this. So we've got the main harness for the air setup. That isn't going to be changed. That has a big but we've got three inline fuses there, and we've got a few grounds, and that little fuse box can just go ahead to tidy all that up. I've also got the these bumper lights down here that I need to wire in, and the wiring for those is behind this arch here. So I kept that off until I was going to do this. Right, so I've drilled a couple of holes up here, give them a little bit of paint just so they don't rust, and let's get the rib nuts in, shall we? Now with that done, I can attach the fuse box and then start planning my cable extensions and crimping things to connect to this. Right, now that that's in, I can start cutting off all of these inline fuses and routing the cables in a much cleaner way. So let's start going ahead and doing that. Right, so I need to extend some of these wires to get them to the new little fuse box. And to do that, I'm not going to do any soldering. Instead, I'm going to be using these solder and heat shrink connectors. You just pop them on, strip the wires, pop them in, then just heat it up and it shrinks around them, holding the wire and solders them together. So these are the two wires for the headlights. Strip these back. And these are the bits I'm using for the extensions. Crimp a couple of these on the end, heat shrink those on there. And that is the two headlight wires done. Extended. You can go straight on into the fuse box. There we have it. Two extended, tidied up, pretty clean looking wires. Get the last two done and then I'll show you what the whole thing looks like. Right, and here it all is. Let's get a closer look. There's a little fuse box. Got my grounds up here. My lives going down either side. Then we've got a live running round to the battery. And likewise a ground running to the battery ground. Let's get the cover on. There we have it. Looking tidy back there. Let's get the battery in, get the car back together, try those lights out. Here we go, all back together. Let's give it a little test. Bumper lights work. They're currently set as the side lights. And then these are still the DRLs. So let's turn the car on and see what it looks like. Nice. Pretty pleased with that. It's exactly what I wanted. And all the wiring now is nice and tidy. It's got all its own fuses. It's all tucked away in the back there. Hopefully not going to get pulled or snagged. I think that's where we're going to call it for this episode, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're glad to see the car essentially finished. Now, of course, as I said earlier in the episode, what's next? Now, we've got some big plans, which I probably won't get onto this month. Probably it'll be a next month video talking about the any kind of engine plans. The next couple of videos will probably be, I'm going to be up at Cafe in a Machine at the Daikoku nights from the 4 o'clock to 6:30 slot. If you guys are going to be there and you watch the channel, come along and say hello. So I'll probably do a little video on that, just showing off some of the cars there, showing off my car there, so on and so forth. And we've got a couple of little maintenance videos coming. We've got, like I say, maintenance on the front suspension. I think one of my ball joints is on its way out, and we're just going to get all the bushings replaced, fix any bump steer issues that the car has, and do a little mod on the anti-roll bar drop links. I'll do a little episode, need to replace all the oil, gearbox oil, diff oil, engine oil, do a little video on that. And then we'll be moving on to a big video about talking about power. More horsepower, more torque, more everything. So stay tuned for that. As always, do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until then, guys, I hope you have a good one. Cheers for watching. Bye-bye.
How do you do? 'Cause I'm feeling so good.